do you mean Rollins wasn't on Raw? What is up, guys? It is Kimmy, and we are reviewing Monday Night Raw for September 7th. And we saw someone new join the Hurt Business, a potential injury, and Drew McIntyre just proving why he should just be the face of WWE right now. So, let's get started. So, Raw starts off with Randy Orton cutting a promo about how he deserved to be in the title match before even defeating Rollins and Lee last week on Raw, and how if Drew isn't medically cleared to be at Clash of Champions in 3 weeks, then Randy should just be given the WWE title, and how Drew is not going to be able to get up because of his fractured jaw and the 3 punch that Orton delivered to Drew 2 weeks ago, and Drew had to get taken out by an ambulance. When you all of a sudden hear ambulance sirens and Drew comes out in the back of an ambulance and attacks Orton for the first of 3 times that we're going to see, and Drew gives him his first Claymore of the night. This was really good, showing that Drew is a dominant champion on Raw, showing that he should be the face of the company, and this new side of Drew that really needed to come out to show that he can defeat Orton. I'm very excited to see this new side of Drew and how it's going to continue for the rest of his reign as champion. Then, for some dumb reason, the Hurt Business beat up a janitor for talking about Shelton Benjamin and his mom. This was really stupid. I don't get why they did it. We get it. The Hurt Business beats people up. We saw it. We saw it on Raw Underground when they cleaned it. Raw Underground was theirs, and we haven't been seeing them there since. We only seen them one other time, so this was just really, really dumb. We love dumb segments on Raw. Adam Pearce was back, telling Drew that since he's not medically cleared to be on Raw, that he should go home. He's putting himself at risk, and now that Pearce has to worry about Retribution, he doesn't want to worry about Drew. Drew says that he will be a Clash of Champions against Orton and he will be medically cleared. Drew leaves respectively, as then Pearce tells the security guards that they need to worry about Retribution and that they need to make sure that Retribution doesn't come on the show, which they technically didn't enter the arena, so the security guards did a really good job this week. But it was very funny that every time Drew would be like, oh yeah, I'm leaving, I swear I'm leaving. He wasn't leaving. This was fun. Like I said earlier, new side of Drew. I like the new side of Drew. It's very, very good. Cedric turned heel. Oh my god, finally. So, over the past couple months, the Hurt Business has been recruiting Cedric Alexander, and Cedric has sworn to stay by Cruz's side and to stay by Ricochet's side, and finally, I don't know what they did. I don't know if it was maybe because the Hurt Business beat up Alexander in the entranceway for what was supposed to be a 6-man tag, but he turned heel. The match was going on, and Cruz went for a hot tag, and Alexander just beat up Ricochet, and Cruz was very confused. Just let the Hurt Business take control, and the Hurt Business to pick the win. MVP was very excited for this, and I'm so excited. Alexander's someone who has been very underutilized since making the switch from 205 Live to the main roster, so I'm very excited that they're actually utilizing him for the Hurt Business, meaning that the Hurt Business is one of the more proactive factions on Raw. But this is really good. I'm really excited. This is not the first time we see them or the last time we see them for the night. Good job, WWE. Thank you for making him heel. For the 5,624th time, we've seen the Street Profits versus Andrade and Angel Garza. Oh my god. So first of all, my huge thing is we've seen this match like a million times. And the same thing happens, Andrade and Angel fight, and Zelina tries to fix the problem, and then, the Street Profits win anyway. So I don't understand why they can't just verse another team to just break them up. It would be so much easier. It really would be. The only upside of this was what happened after the match. But during the match, Garza enters, and then Andrade and Zelina just walk right past him. They argue the whole time. The Street Profits win. Whoop-de-doo. And Garza doesn't even care that Andrade, like, they lost. Like, Garza was literally, like, walking to the back already, like, oh, I don't care. And then Cesaro and Nakamura come out. Yes. So it's funny, too, because I had actually said to myself, before Raw started, I was like, wow, like, they really didn't utilize this whole brand-to-brand invitational thing. And of course, because I said it, they used it. So Cesaro comes and says that they don't understand why the Street Profits are the longest reigning Raw Tag Team Champions, because they don't defend their titles. The only thing you think about the Street Profits is the nice little, you could do anything better challenge that they had with the Viking Raiders. And when you think of Cesaro and Nakamura, you think about them defending their tag titles. And Cesaro laid out the challenge that next week it will be Cesaro and Nakamura versus the Street Profits in a champion versus champion match, which is really exciting. The Profits come back at that, saying that on Raw you can't hang with us, and that Cesaro and Nakamura are just a bar 2.0, and that Cesaro's had like a million tag team partners, so it's about time, like, he just sticks to one, and next week on Raw, they're going to prove why they're the longest reigning Raw Tag Team Champions. I don't know. What does this shaping out to be, meaning a Clash of Champions, you have to defend both, like, all your titles? I don't know if, like, they're going to unify the tag titles, which would be a terrible idea. Do not do it. That would be so bad. So I'm very intrigued to see where this is going to shape up, because I think the biggest thing that's going for WWE right now is that they don't have a tag team division at all, and they need to get one. But I don't know. I'm very excited for the match. I just don't know what WWE's trying to do. If they are going to unify the titles, which is a really stupid idea, because it just shows that they don't have tag teams, that they're going to be like the women's tag titles, and they're just going to go from brand to brand, and then they're not going to be utilized either. So it should be very interesting, but I'm excited for the match. Just not excited for what's to come at Clash of Champions. If we could get rid of the 24/7 title, that would be nice. I mean, it's the same thing every single week. Truth is out to dinner with little Jimmy, the ninjas come, he flees from the ninjas. No. It's the same thing. Get something else to do. Oh my god. Waste of a segment. Waste of a segment. That's what I'm going to call this. Waste of a segment. But then the next segment was also kind of bad. I didn't like Peyton versus Billy. I thought I know that they are very good wrestlers, but I just feel like it wasn't utilized. The match maybe lasted 5 minutes at most. It was just a bunch of near falls, and I know that this is probably going to shape up in being Peyton turning on Billy at some point, because Vince wants to push Peyton to the moon. And, they hugged at the end, like, oh my god, I can't believe that we had to break up, and I'll support you throughout everything. Like, no. This is bad. I hate this too. Like, you could have extended the match a little bit. If you extended the match, I might have liked it. But just, no. But Peyton's finisher is really cool. I will say that. Peyton Royce's finisher is really, really cool. Next, we show a package of Rollins and Dominic showing what happened at Payback last week and at Raw, and how Rollins turned his back on Murphy. Well deserving, though. And the package really showed, like, if you haven't been really paying attention to this feud, that this is one of the main feuds on Raw. I mean, Dominic main evented Raw, and he's had, like, 4 matches. That's crazy. Ray then goes for an interview in the ring with his family, saying that Dominic is going to defeat Murphy, and Ray is proud of all that Dominic has accomplished so far. Dominic is honored to be in the ring when Murphy goes on Titantron and says how Rollins wants nothing to do with him, deservedly so, because you screwed him. And that it was because of Dominic that Rollins betrayed him, because Dominic was the one that got the win at Payback in the tag match. Ray said it's not his fault that Murphy pledged to Rollins in the first place, and that it was really coming to him because Rollins is just a terrible person, which is not true. Then Murphy just puts stipulation on the match, saying it's going to be a street fight, and Dominic says that if Murphy touches anyone in his family, that Murphy's going to get destroyed. I like this. Dominic is really good on the mic, and he's a really talented wrestler, as we're going to get to when we talk about the main event. But I'm excited to see what's next for Murphy and Rollins, just because, like, it wasn't necessarily, like, said that Murphy was kicked out of, like, being Rollins' disciple. So I'm excited. And I was upset that Rollins wasn't on Raw. Like, is he leaving to, like, take care of Becky? Like, I know Becky's due in December, but, like, you got a couple months, bro. I figured that he was leaving in November, so I was very upset. But as you can tell in the beginning of this video, I was very upset Rollins was not on Raw. If you don't know, Rollins is my favorite wrestler. Drew again. He had to give the ambulance back, apparently, because that's what you do. You borrow the ambulance to drive somewhere, and then you have to give it back. This was funny. I enjoyed every time Drew was like, oh, I forgot this, or I forgot that. And, of course, Jax and Baszler were talking to Pierce about why they had, like, two-on-one matches. And then Pierce like, oh, you both deserve to, like, be in a two-on-one handicap match to really show your ability, even though they both lost. But okay. You do you, WWE. And then finally, a good women's match. Yay! It was Asuka and Mickie James versus Lana and Natalya, and of course they announced that next week on Raw, it will be Asuka versus Mickie James for the Raw Women's Championship, which I'm really excited about. And although Mickie and Asuka were bickering throughout the match, I thought the match was really good. I think that Natalya and Lana should be utilized on TV more, because I feel like even though, like, they're not the best tag team in the world, they are something. Like, utilize them more. Natalya's been here for, like, 1,500 million years. Obviously Mickie and Asuka get the win, and then, you know, they have a face-off as they get ready for next week's title match. And then we're at the MVP lounge. Oh, the Hurt Business is really excited that Cedric finally joined them, but Benjamin warns Alexander that if it's a trick, he is going to get destroyed. It's obviously not a trick, but okay. MVP is finally happy he makes the right decision, saying that he made the decision because he doesn't want to get beat down every week. He wants to really get opportunities. He's tired of not earning as much money as the people in the Hurt Business. He wants to learn from the best, and he wants to get more opportunities like Benjamin and Lashley has. I mean, if you think about it, like, Benjamin was really not used, and he joined the Hurt Business, and, like, he's used every week, so everyone should join the Hurt Business. I mean, you get used every week, you're utilized well, it's fantastic. And then, of course, the Viking Raiders and Cruz and Ricochet interrupt the MVP lounge, and it leads to a wonderful 8-man tag that ended kind of sadly because Ivar might be injured. This is a really good tag team match. All 8 competitors are super, super talented within the ring. Obviously, Alexander gets the pin, and the Hurt Business wins, because if they lost, that would have been really stupid, because it wouldn't have made sense. It was like, oh, you joined the Hurt Business, oh, you lost. That sucks. So Ivar was coming, like, diving through the ropes, like, doing his diving thing, and, like, he came down really awkwardly, and he put up the X. Himself, not even a referee. Himself put up the X. So I really hope he's not injured, because I like this feud thing that they got going on. So if he is injured, I wish you the best and safe recovery. But hopefully he's not injured. Really good 8-man tag. Really excited. And then Drew grabbed the wrong phone, and he couldn't find the exit. You know, I would think, meaning that you've been in this arena before, like, this isn't the first time they've been in the Amway Center, I would think you would know where you're going, but okay, Drew. Now we show a package for Owens and Black, hyping up the fact that they're going to Raw Underground, and Kevin finds it. He says the security guard's really tall, because he is. He's like 7 foot tall, I think. And, you know, Shane's excited to see him, but Owens is not excited to see Shane, and that Owens is going to defeat Black in Raw Underground. This is interesting. Orton versus Keith Lee. I love when we make NXT call-ups look strong. Lee was able to avoid the RKO twice, which makes him look, like, really, really good. So that was exciting. You know, Lee, of course, was trying to get payback for Drew, and, you know, trying to get 2-0 over Orton because he wanted payback, which, again, really shocking that he still won. And then all of a sudden, Drew was back. So Drew couldn't find the exit, but Drew found the entrance to the ring. Okay, that makes sense. Drew comes, claymores Randy. Of course, the match ends in a DQ. Pierce comes out and yells at Drew, saying, "You're putting yourself at risk. Why did you do that? I can't believe you did that. You aren't cleared." Little did we know, we were going to see another beatdown from McIntyre. Coming soon. And now we're at Raw Underground. Black is warming up against a couple of the competitors within Raw Underground, looking super strong. Owens comes down, takes Black to the ring. Then we go to commercial. Then we have Randy Orton talking to Adam Pearce, saying that Pearce can't do his job. You told him to leave. I can't believe he didn't leave, and he made up all these excuses. Your word means nothing to me. How could you not kick Drew out of the building? Which is true. He had a very good point. Like, I don't if I was Drew, I would have came up with a lot of better excuses than, I can't find my phone. Can't find the exit. I had to give the ambulance back. But yeah, Randy was very, very angry. Baszler versus the Riot Squad. This was one of two 2-on-1 handicap matches. Nia and Baszler kept on arguing, and Nia saying how Baszler can do better, and that you have to, beat them, and, you're not doing really good. And then, of course, the Riot Squad wins, because we love when tag teams just argue throughout the entire episode. That's strong TV. Now we're back at Raw Underground with, of course, Owens and Black, and we see a good back and forth, and then they go into the crowd, and then, they start fighting with the members that are in the crowd, and Shane's running around, and Shane's trying to be get back in the ring, what are you doing? I still don't understand the point of Raw Underground. I still think it's really stupid. But I like that they only had one match this week. Technically one match. I like that, but I'm not a fan of Raw Underground. Then we have Jax versus the Riot Squad. And then the same thing happened. Baszler yelled at Jax. And then, as Riot Squad's about to get the win, the lights flicker. The Raw Thunderdome people black out. And instead of making their way to the ring, they cut a promo. Retribution cuts a promo saying that they were never given the opportunity to really succeed on the main roster, that they had to survive on their own, and they're going to destroy every single superstar until they get their opportunity. So this is really interesting because, now you're trying to think of, who Retribution is. So from that, it makes it seem like it's a bunch of people that were, on the main roster that got down to NXT. So I'm making a bold prediction that Finn Balor is the leader of Retribution, because I feel like you could definitely make the argument that Balor wasn't really given his fair shot on the main roster, and he was just buried. So I think that would be really interesting if they did it, which means if I'm saying it, it's not going to happen. But I think that would be really cool. So, you heard it here first, Balor's the leader of Retribution. We then cut back with an interview between Sarah and Ray, where Sarah asks Ray about the match, and Ray says that he isn't scared of Murphy, and that Dominic is going to defeat Murphy, and that if Murphy decides to attack anyone of his family, his wife, his daughter, or Ray, then Murphy has another thing coming from. I think it's really cool that they're actually including the whole Mysterio family and not just Dominic and Ray, because I feel like it's more involvement and you get to see how many people are supporting Dominic in becoming a professional wrestler. So I think that's kind of cool. And me and Aaliyah are actually the same age, which is also really funny. And I'm like, wow, she's 19 and she's on TV. Back to Raw Underground for the final segment, and then Owens and Black keep going back and forth, because that's just what we do in Raw Underground. And then Dabakoto attacks Owens and Black. So I believe he was in NXT, and he got called up to go to Raw Underground, or he still wrestles in NXT. And I think he could be a really dominant person on the main roster. He would definitely be someone I would want to see in Retribution too. I feel like he'd be a really good asset to that group. But it was interesting. I mean, I would have rather not have this in Raw Underground, just have them have a regular match. I don't know if they're trying to save that for Clash of Champions or Raw next week or something, but it didn't do anything for the feud. It didn't do anything at all. It was just this one really long segment chopped up into 3 different parts. I would have rather seen this on Raw and a regular match. Hopefully next week. Randy is then looking to leave the arena, and then we just see another attack. Charlie interviews him, and then Drew comes from behind. Drew attacks him, and he just claymores Randy. And Randy gets to leave on the back of an ambulance like Drew did 2 weeks ago. I like this new side of Drew. I think this is really something that could elevate his title run. I mean, I know that on SmackDown Reigns is heel, so I don't know if I don't think they're trying to go for that, but just like this new attitude of Drew is something that could really elevate him to be that top star on Raw. And it really adds something to his title reign. Of course, Pierce looks really, like, angry during this part because Drew just didn't listen to him at all. So I'm assuming that this is going to lead to, like, a suspension or, like, oh, we're not going to have the match, a Clash of Champions, or, like, something like that because he just didn't listen and we just, like, punishing people in WWE for not listening to officials. So that should be interesting. And our main event, oh my god, Dominic Mysterio. So, of course, me being a Rollins fan, I have not really been, like, fan-wise, I've really paid more attention to Rollins than Dominic, but oh my god, the sunset flip spot was just incredible. So he was wrapped up in the ropes, and his mom and sister, like, unravel him, and he just, like, dives through the ropes and just does this amazing sunset flip to Murphy through a table, and it was just the best spot of the night. Oh my god. He is so athletic. He is so talented. I cannot wait till, like, they push past this whole Rollins and Murphy thing and, like, he starts doing things on his own to, like, lead to the U.S. title or, like, something like that. I really think, like, he's going to be a main event star. I am so excited for when they actually do Dominic versus Ray. I think that's going to be a phenomenal match, too, and something that I think Ray's also really looking forward to. This match was amazing. Murphy did a really good job putting Dominic over and showing, like, how athletic Dominic really is. They went around the arena. Dominic dove off the Thunderdome, literally, like, climbed up to one of the screens and just dove off it, which was another cool spot. And Murphy quit the match. Literally said, I quit, or whatever, which was weird because a street fight usually only goes by pin and submission, so that was kind of weird. And all four of them got to hit Murphy with the kendo stick, and it was a nice, subtle way to end Raw. I'm really excited to see if Murphy and Rollins are now going to split up and to see where they're going with that. I'm excited to see what's next for Dominic. This was really good. I thought Raw was okay. I mean, we touched on bad segments, but they ended Raw on such a good note that it made me very excited for next week and very excited for some matches at Clash of Champions. And that's it for another episode of Kimmy Talks Wrestling. Make sure you like this video, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, and make sure you follow this channel's Instagram at Kimmy Talks Wrestling, my personal Instagram at Kimmy.Rollins, and the Twitter, Kimmy_WWE, for more notifications and just what I'm doing with this channel. I hope you enjoyed Raw. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this week's Raw, and I will see you tomorrow for tomorrow's review of NXT Super Tuesday. And just for my early prediction, I am a very big Undisputed Era fan, so I believe Adam Cole Baby is going to win the title. I know it's probably going to go to Balor, but I feel like in my heart that Adam Cole should win. See you all tomorrow.